12 ancient animals on Earth. Number 12. Goblin shark, 118 million years old. Goblin sharks are among the most terrifying creatures to behold, which is why we're glad they live at the bottom of the ocean and rarely venture out. That is why humans have only seen these beasts on rare occasions, despite the fact that they have been on Earth for as long as we have and much longer. In January 2007, a live goblin shark was caught in Japan, but it died within days. Despite this, scientists were able to examine the specimen and learn a lot about this rarely seen living fossil. Number 11. Nautilus orca ant, 120 million years old. These ants, the only terrestrial creatures on the list, may be among the oldest species still living on Earth, but they are unknown to humans. Despite the fact that they exist for a long time, scientists only discovered the blind, subterranean ants in 2008, the first new ant species discovery since 1923. Nautilus orca represented not only a new species, but also a new genus and subfamily, a primitive, prehistoric one that existed at the start of ant evolution 120 million years ago. Number 10. Frilled shark, 150 million years old. Frilled sharks are the oldest shark species still alive. Because they are younger and less evolved than more modern sharks, their simple bodies resemble a cross between a shark and an eel. Frilled sharks, like goblin sharks, live at the bottom of the ocean and, while they are occasionally caught by accident, they are rarely encountered by humans. However, now that you've seen what a frilled shark looks like, we can't guarantee you won't see them in your nightmares. Number 9. Tadpole shrimp, 220 million years old. Despite the fact that tadpole shrimp have been around for more than 200 million years, they are considered an endangered species. Will they end their long existence before today's human generations? Perhaps not. Scientists discovered a unique trait in these animals in 2010 that gives them a chance of survival. It appears that their eggs can remain dry and dormant for extremely long periods of time and still produce new life when ready draft. Now that we know how this curious creature survives, we have realized that there's a good chance there are more populations out there, said Dr. Larry Griffin of the Wildfowl and Wetlands Trust. Number 8. Sturgeon, 200 million years old. The term sturgeon refers to several species that have existed for approximately 200 million years. Despite their age, almost every species of sturgeon is now critically endangered due to the most lethal of predators, humans. Sturgeon are harvested for their roe, which is prized for use in the production of caviar. However, because sturgeon grow and mature slowly, they can live for 100 years. Overfishing, pollution, and habitat destruction all threaten their survival. The good news is that sturgeon can lay millions of eggs. The bad news is that we continue to eat those eggs. Number 7. Horseshoe shrimp, 200 million years old. These ancient shrimp, the oldest on the planet, took the messages in their yearbook seriously. They haven't changed. The horseshoe shrimp hasn't changed much in its 200 million years on the planet. We know this because horseshoe shrimp fossils from that time period show an animal that is identical to the ones that are still swimming around today. Number 6. Lamprey, 360 million years old. Lampreys are creepy, eel-like parasites with circular mouth holes filled with dozens and dozens of small, sharp teeth that they use to latch onto and suck the blood of fish hosts. Isn't it disturbing? If you want to travel back in time to a time before lampreys existed, you'd have to go all the way back to the Paleozoic era. Scientists studied a 360-million-year-old lamprey fossil in 2006 and discovered that it was essentially the same as modern lampreys. They're very ancient, very primitive animals, University of Chicago's Dr. Michael Coates said. Number 5. Coelacanth, 360 million years old. Coelacanths were once thought to be extinct. However, they were not. No, not really. We thought they were extinct for millions of years until we discovered one in 1938. Since then, scientists have paid close attention to the extremely rare and endangered fish because they are so similar to the ancient fish that eventually evolved to crawl out of the water and become the first land vertebrate. In fact, recently, a team of scientists published the coelacanth genome sequence for the first time. Understanding the genetic blueprint of the coelacanth can help us understand how they evolved into, well, pretty much anything. Number 4. Horseshoe Crab, 445 million years old. Horseshoe crabs are among the most well-known living fossils, having remained virtually unchanged on Earth for an incredible 445 million years. In 2008, Canadian scientists discovered a new horseshoe crab fossil that dated back that far. Although the creatures were already thought to be among the oldest living things on the planet, the new fossil proved that they were a full 100 million years older than previously thought, and that they are still the same today as they were all those years ago. Number 3. Nautilus, 500 million years old. A half billion years. That's how long the Nautilus has called our planet home, surviving all of the major mass extinctions that wiped out life on the planet. However, the Nautilus is now on the verge of extinction. What? Humans prefer cool shells. The Nautilus is harvested for its unique spiral shells, which are prized and used for decoration. We have nearly wiped them out through overfishing. Where a person used to be able to catch hundreds of fish per day, only 1 or 2 may now be caught. Number 2. Jellyfish, 505 million years old. As we get closer to the very oldest animals on Earth, they become increasingly primitive. That's because we're now talking about a time when land-dwelling creatures didn't exist at all. Jellyfish, however, existed 505 million years ago. That makes them nearly twice as old as we previously thought. In 2007, researchers from the University of Kansas discovered new fossil evidence of jellyfish dating back more than 500 million years, which was 200 million years older than the oldest known jellyfish fossils at the time. So it's more accurate to say that jellyfish are at least 505 million years old. Who knows what evidence we'll find to prove they're even older. Number 1. Sponge, 760 million years old. It's unclear how long sea sponges have been around, but they're old enough to be the longest living creatures on the planet outside of microorganisms, like bacteria. The oldest evidence of a sea sponge discovered was a fossil discovered in a 760-million-year-old rock just last year. The previous record for the oldest sea sponge fossil was a 635-million-year-old sponge discovered in 2009. There could be older fossils yet to be discovered. However,
Finding an older species is unlikely because these simple organisms appear to be the forerunners of much more complex life, including the first multicellular animals.